Rams defensive coordinator Raheem Morris might be the frontrunner for the Colts head coach job. The Lakers leave Boston furious, but at least they like how Rio Hachimura fits in with their offense. And there's a player good enough to represent the United States on the international stage, but he can't get a break with LA Galaxy. What? Good morning. I'm James. This is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the faithful Angelenos Morning Report. It is January 29th, 2023. We added multiple new subscribers to the Angelino familia yesterday. Thank you. I appreciate every last one of you. Can't lie though, it was a bad week last week personally, but it is Sunday and today I will be giving thanks to the Lord for the good things that I do have in my life, like LA sports. If you like the content that we put out about LA sports, clickety-clack the like button, clickety-clack the subscribe button. There's a notifications bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop new content. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And by all means, comment. We got a good amount of stuff to get to today. Lots to chat about. So let's look at the scoreboard. The Lakers again pushed the Celtics to overtime before losing 125-121. Yes, I am absolutely aware that the refs missed an obvious foul when LeBron James drove the lane in the final seconds of regulation. As a side note, props to Patrick Beverley. To prove LeBron got fouled, Beverley actually grabbed a photographer's camera to show the refs where they blew the call. Now, true, Beverley got teed up for showing up the refs. But it's like my dad used to tell me, if you're going to get teed up, be original about it. Get your money's worth. Now, sources have told both ESPN and the LA Times that yes, the referees screwed the Lakers yet again. I'm sure that means the world to LeBron, by the way. Well done, NBA. But if you really want to know an additional reason why LA lost, LeBron scored 41 points. Nobody else scored more than 16. That included in overtime. Point being, LeBron James, everything was thrown on that guy's shoulders last night. Somebody had to get at least 20. Nobody did. Somebody gets 20, that game does not go to overtime. Kawhi Leonard scored 32 points for the Clippers in their fifth consecutive win, 120-113 over Atlanta. And the Kings, they had a modest 3-game winning streak. It was snapped last night in Tampa Bay, 5-2. Jonathan Quick, in goal, has not won a game since December 1st. 2 months, guys, 2 months. Meanwhile, today, the Clippers are in Cleveland for a game that'll take place at 4 o'clock. Now, multiple news outlets are reporting that Rams defensive coordinator Raheem Morris made a tremendous impression with the Colts in a second interview for their vacant head coaching position. Now, for those of you who aren't too familiar with Raheem Morris, he's been a head coach twice before. Once he took over for John Gruden back in the early part of the century over in Tampa Bay. He's toiled as a defensive coach for decades. He had a second shot as an interim head coach over at Atlanta a couple of years ago. They didn't give him the full-time gig. He lands with the Rams, takes over for Brandon Staley. The defense does not miss a beat. Raheem Morris has been a tremendous defensive coordinator, tremendous assistant coach pretty much everywhere he's gone. You would think he would have gotten his second shot by now. And that, by the way, is the reason I'm skeptical whether or not he actually crushed the second interview. You never hear somebody say, oh, somebody sucked in their second interview. No. Everybody crushes their second interview. I'd like him to get the job, or a good job, at least. I'm just saying until they actually said, you know what, Raheem's our guy, I'm just basically being patient about it. The sample size for Lakers newcomer Rio Hachimura is really small. He's only been in 2 games, both off the bench. But it appears that Darvin Ham likes to put him in the low post so that Anthony Davis doesn't have to be there and get pounded on for the entire game. As a matter of fact, I saw clips where not only Hachimura was put in the low post, but Davis wasn't in the low, not only was not in the low post, He wasn't even on the wings. He was at the top of the arc. They were getting him as far away from the low post as possible so that he wouldn't get injured, perhaps. Now, to be clear, nobody is calling Hachimura a center, but Hachimura could theoretically create mismatches where they like them. Like when LeBron goes into the low post, he's not bringing a center with him. LeBron is bringing a guard. That's a big versus a little. LeBron eats that for lunch. They're trying to say maybe they can get the same mismatch advantage with Hachimura. Now, to be fair, there will be growing pains. He's still a very young player in his rookie-level contract. Hachimura, for example, only scored 6 points against the Celtics last night. And that's because Boston has a lot of wings to match up with Hachimura down in the low post. But to repeat, there is profound optimism among both players and coaches for Rui Hachimura making an impact. 7-time NBA champ and Lakers legend, big shot Rob Horry, was ejected from a high school game for heckling the ref. Now look, in Horry's defense, all he allegedly said was, "You suck," right? On the other hand, dude, you got 7 rings. What the hell are you tarnishing your reputation for, getting hot and bothered in a high school bat? Dude, you do not need to go Little League, Dad, big shot. You don't have to. You're a made man in basketball circles. You don't have to screw this up. The world already has LeVar Ball, and nobody asked for him to make an ass of himself either, right? And by the way, that's not the only time Robert Horry got the feels watching his kid play. Horry allegedly threw punches during a youth game in 2017. Punches, which is kind of crazy because everybody says he looks like Will Smith. You would have thought it would have been a slap fight. I didn't like that joke either, but I thought I'd get it out of my system. By the way, before the NBA season started, I made it a mission to swat away one pointless Lakers trade rumor right after the other because they're not based in reality. And I hate it when people get all excited about something that's just a fantasy from some dude tweeting while he's on the toilet, right? So you recall how for weeks, nay months, Miles Turner was allegedly coming to the Lakers. Yes, all the Lakers had to do was give 2 first-round draft picks and Russell Westbrook's expiring contract to the Pacers, and they would have gotten Miles Turner and Buddy Hield. And I was telling you guys, this is a fantasy. Turner is trying to angle for a big contract with the Lakers. He doesn't care about playing for the Lakers. He wants the money. Well, Miles Turner got the money. He got it with Indiana. 2 years, $30 million each. So yes, once again, you can take another Laker trade rumor that was supposedly going to happen at any minute, wipe your behind with it, and flush it away. That's all I'm saying, guys. That's all I'm saying. Mentioned a couple of days ago that Lonnie Walker IV was sent to the Lakers G League team to get in shape. Apparently when it comes to getting in shape, the G League is better than a Tybo class because Walker was in shape enough to fly to Boston and play in last night's game. Billy Blanks must be proud. Austin Reeves, though, has yet to make that trip to South Bay. He has missed the last 12 games due to a hamstring injury. He is going to be reevaluated on Thursday. I've been wanting to talk about this for weeks. I have sincerely contemplated joining the supporters groups for their boycott of the LA Galaxy matches, because they want President Chris Klein removed. And I mean that. I have tickets to the upcoming Rose Bowl game. I want to go, but the supporters groups, honestly, they have a great point. Soon I'll get into detail with my decision. But until then, I have a side question. Why the hell is Jalen Neal good enough to start for the United States men's national team, and he has yet to make his MLS debut with LA Galaxy? Can anybody answer that for me? I love watching soccer. I acknowledge I know way more about baseball, hoops, football, a lot of other sports than soccer. Soccer intrigues me. I do not know everything about it. But for those of you who do not follow club soccer, Neal is a 19-year-old center back who has spent the last few years with LA Galaxy 2. LA Galaxy 2 is considered, for lack of a better term, a minor league affiliate of LA Galaxy. For the last few years, they were playing in USL. He has yet to play a single MLS game. I checked a variety of sources, including MLSsoccer.com. He hasn't played a single MLS game. And yet, despite not being MLS material, the United States soccer program thinks much different. Neal earned his first 2 appearances with the men's national team this week. That means he is seriously being contemplated to join the United States in their next World Cup run. Only elite soccer players represent their countries. He is a potential starter for a possible World Cup run, and he's in the minor league system for the Galaxy, not the big club. As of January 3rd, Jalen Neal was considered the club's 5th possible center back option. 5th. Why? He can't get to the big club because of Nick Dupuis? Really? Sega Koulibaly is good for at least 2 suspensions a year due to yellow card accumulation. Neal still can't suit up. To me, this is one of the latest examples of the Galaxy's extremely confusing academy system. For years, especially when MLS was in its infancy, the national press was telling us, oh, the Galaxy's academy, they're elite. After all, they had all of Los Angeles to comb for talent. Do you remember hearing that? Yeah, well, that's obviously not true. FC Dallas has been selling their best academy prospects to Europe for years. They make a profit on it. Philadelphia, meanwhile, when their academy, they keep their prospects. Philadelphia made MLS Cup finals last year with their own prospects. So I'm starting to wonder if the LA Galaxy will ever truly get it when it comes to player development. I really am. If you're in the Galaxy front office and you're thinking, well, you know, we want to be considered a super team, so we need to get the internationally known world striker, that's at least an argument because Jalen Neal is not a striker. That would suck for a guy named Preston Judd, but that's another story for another time. The question I have is, you can't have an entire roster of international stars, so why is Neal not even getting a sniff? The country thinks he's elite. Why does the Galaxy not follow suit? The prize free agent in the WNBA offseason, Candace Parker, was allegedly considering returning to the Sparks. Either that or staying in Chicago. She won titles in both cities, after all. Well, she paid a nice little courtesy call to current WNBA champion Las Vegas, and they made a hell of a sales pitch. They won her over. She signed with them. She wanted to stay closer to the West Coast to be with family. That's what necessitated the rumors about returning to the Sparks. She's in the twilight of her career. She's already logged 15 seasons. Now, if you're a Sparks fan and you're asking James, where do they go from here? Damned if I know. I don't watch the WNBA. You tell me. Former Dodgers reliever Joe Kelly is writing a book. You might not be the type of person who judges a book by its cover, but I'm here to tell you, if the cover of Joe Kelly's book is this, I'm buying 5 copies, right? Wouldn't you? The title of the book is A Damn Near Perfect Game, Reclaiming America's Pastime. So it's not just a biography. It's while he's going through this, he's going to talk about the rule changes that have taken place in MLB and which ones are just absolutely abhorrent. Changing the game for the worst. Also for the Dodgers, if you remember Danny Duffy, he was kind of, sort of a Dodger. They traded for him from Kansas City. He never pitched a single inning for him. Duffy signed with Texas, where he can avoid pitching for them as well. So, thumbs up. He's working on year 3 of getting paid for doing absolutely nothing. I applaud that. I wish I could do the same, Mr. Duffy. The Dodgers did sign a pitcher, Dylan Covey, one of the most successful pitchers in Chinese baseball, to a minor league contract. He won 13 games for the Rakuten Monkeys. Yikes. Great name. The Bruins football team, UCLA, they finally have added a defensive transfer that might be legit. 6'4", 300-pound defensive tackle Keanu Williams is on his way in from Oregon. He was once a four-star prospect, currently a redshirt sophomore. He only had 2 tackles last year. Now you might say, James, why are you calling somebody with 2 tackles possibly legit? Well, I'm just spitballing here, but I would rather take 2 tackles with Oregon than being all Ivy League with Harvard or wherever these other transfer portal guys for UCLA are coming from. One more topic before I let you enjoy your Sunday. With the NHL trade deadline approaching, the Kings are the only team that holds a playoff spot with a negative goal differential and the 3rd worst goalie save percentage in the league. The Athletic evaluated what the Kings might give up in a trade to reach that so-called next level. They believe that the Kings are unlikely to trade draft picks. They already sent one to Minnesota as part of the Kevin Fiala trade. Instead, the Kings might be angling to send a right-handed defenseman because they have a glut of them. Brant Clark is apparently not on the table, but Matt Roy, Sean Walker, or Jordan Spence absolutely could be. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Let me know if you believe that the Lakers got screwed. Let me know if you think the Rams are going to be in search for a new defensive coordinator. And as always, if you enjoyed the content we put out, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We do talk LA sports here every single day. Thank you for watching. I'm James. We'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Quian Corta El Queso production. Take care.